Welcome to Dirt on Your Podcast. That was too loud.
That shook me.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play.
Okay, welcome to Dirt on That Podcast, episode 1.5. This time we are not with Craig, that stupid time-traveling being, piece of shit.
Fuck time travelers.
And also, Robbo's not here because he was a piece of shit. We're here with James, maybe.
Also a piece of shit.
And someone, I don't know.
The name's Jordan.
Jordan, yeah.
But speaking of time
God.
travel, though, right? Everyone's saying like, oh, I would go back in time and kill Hitler, or like people would concede that maybe it's not a good idea to go back in time and kill Hitler. I would like to bring forth the idea that every single person who has invented time travel and tried to supersede that idea of killing Hitler has actually been killed by Hitler themselves. And that's why Hitler never died, because he's killed every time traveler that's tried to kill him. He actually knows that time travelers exist, and he's killed every single one. And
he's ready. Because he knows they exist.
He might have even invented time
probably
travel.
did.
Because like they were doing weird science shit back in World War II.
Yeah.
They were like inventing so much. They were working with brains. They were creating gaseous technology. They were creating everything in the fucking kitchen sink, right? Who's to say that they didn't stumble upon like time changing orifices or like something to change time? And Hitler was just like, I shall kill everyone who comes back for me. And that's why he still
He's
lives
alive
on
right now.
I mean, he's in the Bahamas with Tupac right now. But no,
He's gone. But yeah.
he's really dead.
Even
But,
if he survived World War II,
yeah,
he's dead now.
yes,
He
Yeah,
is
he
clearly
was.
dead now.
yes.
He would be 125 or so years old.
Well,
As if he wasn't a bad enough person. Like, not only did he destroy the lives of so many, but he also just had like a weird incesty thing as well, which is like,
and then she committed suicide as well. She killed
because of
herself
his actions.
because of that. Yeah.
So like, not only was he accountable of all of the Jewish deaths, an entire war practically, but also he had a weird incest fetish as well, which is like icing on the weird fucked up World War II cake.
If only they bloody let him into art school. And they liked his art.
They're just like, you know what, kid, you can make it. And he just starts crying. He's like, and then
that would have ended the war.
that would have
much
ended the
sooner.
world. But like, what if that happened and Hitler went like the war side of Hitler fucking went back in time and like kicks his painting and he's like, you are nothing, and he just like goes back away and Hitler just goes home and he's like, I wonder who that was. He's like he goes through his entire life, he gets elected, he's like going through the war, he looks in the mirror and he's like, he realizes he's wearing like the same thing as like what he was wearing the day that fucking man came in and kicked his painting to the ground and said he was nothing. And then this scientist walks in on the room and it's like, sir, we figured out the technology. It is everything you wanted. And he just looks back and he's like, it is destiny. I must go through it. And he like goes through it and he fucking kicks his own painting and he creates a cycle.
And that's World War II.
That's actually
in a nutshell.
that's World War II. Hitler might have
Get
killed
everything you've learned.
What if Hitler killed himself to stop the war? Because he realized that it was a cycle, right?
Yeah,
You need to
he
stop the
couldn't
cycle.
be in the cycle any longer. It was driving him insane. So he shot himself.
I keep going back. I am self-aware. This is number 400.
He still can't win the war after all those times.
No,
He still fails.
that's because the human soul is the most powerful thing of all.
So during that podcast, I'm just gonna try to segue away.
That's such a tangent. Oh my god.
We talk about shit, so it's dirt. It's
Welcome.
on a podcast.
It's a lot of rubbish,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's great.
that's the whole point. But with one topic is time travel apparently. So with
Time travel, the Nazis.
we can't really follow up on E3 because Robo's not here because he's a piece of shit. So we're just gonna just go on and talk about
Yeah, we're just gonna spend some time to talk about time. You know. Time to time.
Time to time.
We'll talk about time travel. But are there any other topics of
I
discussion?
don't know.
No. No.
We are so ready.
Every single person
We
in
just
this
come
world.
up with shit on the spot.
Exactly. Every single person in this world has a passion, something they could talk about for hours and hours on end, something that means something to them. For me, it's fucking Kanye West.
Oh, fuck off.
That is a
No,
character
let's not
study
let's not
of a
segue into
man.
that.
That is, I like his music, but I don't resonate with his personality. But I also think it's so weird. He has such a duality towards him. You see, his new album is all about, it's called Yay, and it's all about his bipolar disorder, and it completely justifies liking the Make America Great Again movement and liking Donald Trump, but also criticizing it in his previous work because he's like bipolar and he has like multifaceted ideas, and he's like, it's half cop out, half like, fuck, should I respect this? And
No.
no,
No respect.
no.
Don't respect it.
Zero respect.
That man
Don't
has
like the guy.
made songs about falling in love with a porn star, aka like Kim K, because
Yeah.
she's like the #1 video on Pornhub, I think.
Yes.
I shouldn't say I think.
Definitely.
I definitely know. Like you don't. Like
Yeah.
Or you could just say you think, so we could not better.
I know. I go on Pornhub. I look up most viewed because I'm a sheep. I want to jerk off to the most jerked off things on the internet.
Usually the best.
And like, yeah, like it's normally the best. Here's the weirdest thing: you're gonna go and meet someone in the
Do
street.
you change the time as well?
Yeah. Like all time, like the most.
I
out
go
of
all time or
everything.
yearly.
If you go
Sometimes
all
I'm
time.
tired of all time.
Yeah, if you go all time, then you just get Kim K's video and you're like, not this again. But like, sometimes you go monthly.
God.
But to like, you're gonna meet someone in the street, right?
Mm.
Like, guy or girl, doesn't really matter. But like, say it's a guy, right? And you're gonna like learn about them. You're gonna find their interests. You might be friends with them. You might hang out with them again. And you're never gonna talk about the fact that you both look up like the most viewed Pornhub.
That's
and
true.
Totally
There
jerked
needs
off to
more
the same
awareness.
thing.
More awareness.
You've
of-
like we've most men have probably jerked off to the same videos, but we're just never gonna address it. We're just gonna stay unbeknownst to this
I
idea.
don't think I want that in my mind.
Yeah, me
when it's
so,
happening.
you know.
Thing. Anyone seen that video with like the sleepover?
Oh, easy.
Right? Everyone knows that video. Actually, I love the fucking meme where it's that like petite young like blonde
yeah.
girl and there's like,
It's like five guys
a
behind
row
her.
of like massive
Oh.
African American dudes
Mm.
just like towering above her. It's very funny. I love the captions towards it too.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
just funny because you just know what's going
that's
on.
a, that's a timeless meme.
That'll live on forever.
That's gonna
Unless they end memes.
and meme actually. Will memes ever end? Memes existed back in like Rage comic days, but they weren't like the memes we know today. But they've
Yeah. It depends on
construed
like
themselves.
the next generation. I don't know.
Pass the torch.
Pass the torch.
You're like, our ancestors gave us Rage comics, and
Everyone's gonna look back at the early-ish 2000s and be
Yeah,
like, oh, what
the
happened?
fuck is
Oh,
this?
they made memes. You know,
they made a bunch of
nothing special.
shitty comedy. They
Yeah.
made a bunch of photos that just
That's
make
our gen.
no
What even
sense.
is our gen? Are we Gen Y or X or what are we
We're,
called?
we're
Z?
Gen. Well, because we're 1999,
We're in a weird kind of.
we're
Because there's one after
We're in the
us as well.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
we're not the bears.
Millennials.
Yeah, so we're whatever's after bears.
Millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're after the
I'd rather just say that every time.
It sounds like you're dropping down a beat.
Which is why
Yeah.
I hate when people go, oh, you know,
Those
goddamn
goddamn
millennials.
Those goddamn
Yeah.
millennials.
It's because
Wearing
like
those boots so
pretty much
high.
most people in the 90s have the same views,
Yeah.
really. So it kind of spans back.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I too really disrespect every single person I meet if they're not white and male. I love non-millennial views, right?
Mm.
No, not to say that's for everyone, but here's my, I guess, semblance on memes.
because
right?
you are the epitome of a
of a millennial.
yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
dress
absolutely.
like them,
I
you
dress like
act
one.
like them, you follow the trends.
I do follow
and that's
the
not
trends.
offensive
No,
to
not
you,
at
because
all.
that is exactly what
I get
you
my
do.
I get my eyebrows done. I wear my nice shoes. I wear my nice pants. I make sure that I'm looking how Instagram wants me to look today. I'm very much a millennial, but I also have this really cool thing called respect and equality, and not SJWism, but
Oh, thank gosh.
but like
not too crazy.
you know, all the good things that come with being a millennial as well. Fuck, I'm never gonna buy a house, but
You're
but
gonna be
I'll
living in this dungeon forever.
but I can make some pretty good memes. But with memes, actually, they've kind of gone from a point where, they're very like self-aware and ironic and simple and like existential at this point. And I don't know if we can top it, you know. I don't like. I think
No.
where we're at right now,
So many
where
great-
like there's just I don't know if you guys have seen it. I fucking love it though. It's just a picture of like Mark Zuckerberg in office, but he's got like Markiplier's head, but it's like Lord Farquaad's shape of a face,
that's
and it
it,
just
yeah.
has E. It just has the letter E.
That's like, yeah, because that comes from Shrek, doesn't it? The
think
E meme?
The E meme.
Yeah, it comes from
But
the
like
Prince
that-
and Shrek.
Yeah, like
And I'm like, that is the epitome of comedy in our generation. An E. Like, that's
just a
it.
single fucking letter, and like it blew up the internet. And like there's so many, and it's like there was an actual article written like why is millennial humor so like weird?
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Makes
And,
no
like,
sense.
That article itself got famous and became a meme. Like
Mm.
people took that article and then put like a H next to it.
Yeah.
And like it became a fucking
That's
meme
like
in
a-
itself.
Yeah, a
like,
meme and a meme. That's crazy.
it's like it's so
Inception.
self-aware. It's like this organism that just doesn't fucking stop growing.
Mm.
But I feel like we're at a point in which it can't get any. Like we can have continuous jokes.
Yeah.
We can have like funny videos and everything. But like the actual state in which memes are in
Mm.
can't get any higher than we are. We're already like fucking self-aware. We can
Yeah.
simplify it down to like like the only thing I can think of is that instead of images, it's just going to be like a letter E,
Mm.
and that will be the comedy within itself.
That's the way
Or-
we're going right
or
now.
like, at the purest sense, it's just going to be like one single pixel on a screen, and we're just going to be like, that's the funniest shit
That's
I've
gonna be
ever
enough.
seen. But
Yeah.
we keep making it so bad.
There'll just be like new images and stuff, but the
Yeah.
actual theme or whatever will stay the same.
I miss Dat Boy.
Jesus
Mm.
Christ.
I miss Dat Boy. Dat Boy.
Actually, no, Dat Boy was alright.
Dat Boy did nothing wrong. Dat Boy didn't get too oversaturated like
Mm.
Harambe. Dat Boy was just
Oh, that
like
other gorilla died, Coco.
Coco.
Good
Coco could do hand
Yeah,
signals.
you could talk to people.
Coco
pretty
was
much,
like
really.
a better def,
Some good shit.
better
Bit of Harambe.
Harambe, yeah. But I think also like was just was so talented.
Mm.
I guess I'm trying to think of the word, but just
Gifted.
gifted, multifaceted, because
Mm.
he could literally like talk
Yeah.
to humans
Oh,
with,
that's
with his
crazy.
hands. Oh
Mm.
fuck! Coco was a blessing to
Mm.
this earth, and actually should get more recognition than what Harambe did. But
Yes,
Harambe got,
Harambe was just a gorilla who
Harambe
had,
got
had
shot,
a kid.
so it was a bit
Yeah, that's
a
true.
bit more shocking
Mm.
than Coco's like departure into the next
Yes.
life. It wasn't like there's a kid in there.
I still think they should have had the
Tranked him.
well, they should have tranked him, or
Should've
if they were
tranked
to
the
have the
kid.
gun, should have shot
Would have
the kid.
made it better. The gorilla would have been like, "Ah, shit, it's
But
not
I
moving."
mean, just keep the gun on the gorilla,
Yeah.
and then if he does something, shoot him.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll just kill the kid. Either way,
Probably
kill
not.
the parents. No,
Kill him.
just shoot on the whole zoo.
They should have just
God.
tranked both of them. Just
Just trank everyone. Yeah.
just trank yourself. I don't want to deal with
Yeah, I
this.
don't want to do this today.
I don't want to go to work.
Sorry, I couldn't come in today. I tranked myself. Fuck. Okay, man.
It's a good
Get the
reason.
day off.
Sorry, I set for my alarm. I just drank myself last night.
Pretty much.
It's like the next level. It's like, oh, should I take an Ambien tonight, or should I like trank myself instead? Oh, what's gonna give me a worse hangover? I'll go with trank tonight. Dunk.
Oh, boy.
Are there any other topics of discussion we'd like to bring
Room
up today?
Okay, I have a brain.
You have
You have a
you
brain.
have a brain
Well,
idea.
that's good.
I'm still functioning. No. When I think of it. Okay, so, James, I know Jordan might know,
Yeah.
but did you know the Australian government has
Oh.
put... Okay, so back in October, September, sometime around then,
Saucy gossip.
they... a media company called Juice Media,
Yeah.
they put out... They do, like, the honest
Yeah.
government
Yeah.
advertisement sort of things. And because they were using, at the time of the first video, they were still using the Australian coat of arms.
Yeah.
So, but then they got told, hey, you little boys, you better change that coat of arms. So they changed it to Oz Alien, and they changed the emu head and the kangaroo head to a surveillance thing, and then put a pirate ship in the coat of arms, and put in clear letters, not a real logo.
Yeah.
That's their version of the Australian coat of arms.
Take that, Australian.
But
That's what you get for your shitty.
We're gonna parody
Fucking-
you.
But
people.
Australia is just like, yeah, we got to draft some law now.
Mm.
So drafted up law, and the Greens, they went through. It was in the Senate, and the Greens were just like, what the fuck is this? Some Senator McKim, he's a Tasmanian senator.
Yeah.
He just roasted the Attorney General.
Oh, he fucking went at him because he was just like,
Yeah.
because the idea was like, oh, if I got this in my mailbox and I didn't look at it properly enough, then I could confuse it with the coat of arms. And the person fighting against the idea of changing, because it's quite a silly change, is just like, are you not gonna look at your mail? Like, are you not gonna like closely
that's
inspect your
true.
own fucking mail? Like, do you get your maid to do it or something? Like, just do it yourself. Like, look at it, put your glasses on or something.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one really good part where the person in defense for like keeping it the same way it is was just like, I think this is more a testament to your eyesight, which is like the
Should've
most,
gone Specsavers.
which is just like the most formal way of saying like, take a closer look, you
Not sponsored
fuckhead.
by Specsavers, by the way. Just keep that.
No.
Should have gone to OPSM, right?
Yeah.
Sponsor me.
Not.
Bailey, now I'm not gonna finish that last one.
Yeah.
Also sponsor.
We're not sponsored by anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's a come on.
we're sponsored by Jordan's Hair. Jordan's Hair.
Jordan's hair, it's light, it's fluffy.
You can get it everywhere.
Yeah, I cut
That's
it every
nice. We should
month.
make a song from Jordan's hair.
It grows so fucking quickly, I hate it. I would rather keep it short, but it grows quite long.
But
But
moving on from Jordan's,
digress.
back to the coat of arms sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're back.
Last week
Yeah, Australian government fucked
They-
up real hard.
in the Senate, at least,
The Senate.
they
Is it just?
The Senate.
no like they
Is it just Ian McDermott? And it's just.
The Senate.
the Senate. We will pass this law. They passed the law.
They
So,
passed
but
it.
pretty much,
Really?
this
Yeah.
law pretty much says if you parody and we don't find that funny, and we will judge genuine satire. So I don't know what the fuck's genuine satire
Yeah,
is.
they
Yeah,
said
that's
that-
very broad.
They said that genuine satire was to be discerned as a matter by the courts. So essentially, the courts are going to be like, did we find this funny? No.
Well, did we find this funny or not?
Yeah, I'm sure the
It's
people on
like,
the court's gonna find it funny.
It's like, is this genuine satire or is this just satire? It's like, if I'm
It's a
criticizing,
joke.
if I'm criticizing it and it's comedic, isn't that satire? Oh yeah, but we didn't like it, so it's genuine satire. Oh, and what about genuine satire? Oh well, that shit's illegal. So like, you can't do that shit. It's like
That's
at what
a
point-
great like freedom of speech.
At what
thing.
point are you taking away the whole idea of
Yeah.
satire, which is to critique? And it's mainly used for policy as well and political advocate.
Oh yeah.
So it's honestly it's really Orwellian the way
Yeah.
that it's been done.
And like about it. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah. Like I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of it because you
No,
draw a
that's
line
stupid.
between satire and genuine satire,
Yeah,
and you're just
but
like,
especially when
what's
it's a
the
government
difference?
and they're saying you can't, like, we can judge whether a criticism of our government
Yeah,
is legit
and-
or not. It's like, well, that's a
and-
bit iffy.
Before they passed it, in court, the person in defense for it, I can't quite think of their name at the moment, but he was just like, how are we to judge what satire is?
Mm.
Like, he was totally aware of what was going on. He was like, how are we to judge that? And then the person for it, advocating for it, was like, well, we're not going to judge it. The courts are. And that was his defense. And somehow that was enough to get through.
like that was like back in November,
Yeah.
and then
no one stopped to think like,
no one's just like, well, what the fuck's genuine satire?
Yeah.
We clearly know what it is, so we're just we're the drafters. We're gonna just throw it in there. It's like a Pacific term.
yeah.
That
So they
Pacific term.
But
But whatever.
the ocean.
The ocean.
The ocean.
The Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific term, which is actually, if you ever find Nemo, please bring him back to Mars. He's still out there looking for it.
I still haven't seen I haven't seen
Disney-
Finding Dory yet.
It's
Yeah.
alright.
Everyone pretty much has the
You're
same
not
reaction.
missing out.
Whenever I
It's-
ask people, they're like,
It's
it's
my
alright.
least favorite Pixar movie because
No,
if
I hate Cars. And also,
Cars.
like
Two.
Cars 1.
well,
Cars
Cars
2.
1 is alright, but
Cars
Cars
2.
2 is iffy.
I feel like Cars 2 had more sense of adventure, even though I dislike Maida as a character, than Finding Nemo 2. Like, Finding Nemo 2 seemed to me as a more dry and lifeless story.
Yeah, it was very lifeless.
It was like I was watching a saltine the entire time.
I don't even know what happens. Honestly.
basically
It's a cookie cutter plot.
Dory figures out. Oh my god,
She gets
I
a
could-
random ass memory. She's like, "Whoa!
I can. Oh my god!
I got parents."
I got parents. I can go find my parents.
But wouldn't she know already that she has?
Ah, that's a fucking thing.
Because, like, that's
She
how
just-
life works.
Well, her short-term memory like fucking lapses for a single moment. She's like, "Wait a minute," and then the story just kicks into gear, and you're like, "What?" Like Finding Nemo opens up with like this beautiful scenic landscape.
Yeah.
It takes its time, takes you through. You understand the world you're in, and it has this beautiful like opening where it's so sad, and the score kicks in. Fucking Finding Dory starts off with just like swimming. Oh my god, parents! And it's
That's
I
not a good way to start.
I disliked it. It was a very jarring start compared to the last.
Yeah.
Not that it has to be the exact same movie.
That's one of the ones where I'm like, it really doesn't need another movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
It
It's
really
so sad.
doesn't.
Like he found his son. Like
Yeah.
that's enough trauma for
I mean,
a fish.
it's called Finding
live,
Nemo.
They
so.
live until they're like 3.
And what's
Yes.
next? Finding Merlin.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I don't want them to do it like an Incredibles 3.
I do.
Because I'm like,
I
that
do.
story. Well, I'm like, that story
You know
is
what?
done.
I think.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
wrapped
I
up.
mean,
I think they need to do.
superheroes are back.
Yeah,
but
well, it's legal now.
I
I'm
guess.
like, that's.
I guess it would be
you
a
know what I
story of now that superheroes are legal, they could bring it out into the forefront, right?
Yeah, I
Because
know, but I
that's
don't
a lot
really.
of potential that
Yeah.
they're dealing with, and I feel like Brad Bird would do it in a very classy way.
As long as they take their time,
I
they
just
don't
don't
do
think
it
it's-
straight away,
Yeah.
and they actually find a good story, and it's not just for, oh look, we got this massive pile of money because
Well, yeah,
who
that's
thought
the thing.
Incredibles 2 would
Well,
make
yeah.
money?
Who would have thought pandering to all those people who wanted another
Yeah.
movie actually worked? Who would have thought that we maybe shouldn't have done Finding Dory because everyone wanted Incredibles too?
Because like Incredibles 2 works in the way that like the first one still has that
Oh.
that whole thing where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this still is illegal. Like they still aren't.
Yeah.
You know. But I feel like that's wrapped up, and that's the main arc of both of the movies.
I feel like
really.
that was the
You
biggest
can
issue.
do more if you want, but I, just
I
really
feel like
don't
that
think
was
it's
the
necessary.
biggest issue that they
Yeah.
had to go into hiding, and that
But
was
I think with the third one, they could try and do, like, they're legal now, but the public reception is still probably a little bit, oh yeah, like you
But
say,
it doesn't seem
people,
like that
but
in the second
yeah.
one. Though.
I feel like if they did a third movie and it focused on the politics on whether or not super should be
Yeah, but I feel like
there
they're
or not, it
done that
wouldn't
really
be.
to some
Yeah,
degree.
it wouldn't be that groundbreaking because like
No.
the first movie was talking about the hardships of being in the underground. The second movie was fighting that hardship. The third movie could potentially be, now that hardship is over, facing the new challenges of being out in the open.
Yeah.
So I actually think if they flipped it and did a total on top of its head 180.
But they were like that beforehand, so it's like
They
you know
weren't
what I
like
mean?
that beforehand, but everyone loved supers.
Mm.
Now that they've gone through that shaky bit, it would be really interesting seeing everyone be like, yeah, supers are back. This is great. But like now they're still like, they've been in hiding for so long, and now they have to like hide their families because everyone wants to know who the next superhero is, and like they have a whole new set of hardships, which is something they didn't have because they grew up in hiding. Like they grew their kids up in hiding.
Yeah.
So
but when they
now-
were like in their prime, they weren't. They were out in the open.
When they were in their prime, they were out in the open and they were like full on superheroes, but they were solo, right? They
Yeah.
even have the whole bit with like Incredible where it's like I work solo.
Mm.
Now they have a family to take care of, and they have to hide. Like their kids could be in danger because someone's gonna find out who that superhero is.
Yeah.
Like Violet has to like go to school, but like while she's going to school and something happens, she has to make the executive decision like, am I gonna go or am I gonna stay here? Because if I go, someone might notice I'm not in class. I think that would be really interesting, the fact that they're so popular that they have to be scared of themselves, because it's different to being scared of what other people think of you because they don't like you.
Yeah.
It's scared of popularity, which is a more like celebrity way of thinking compared to an outcast way of thinking.
Yeah.
So it's the exact opposite of what we've come to expect. I think it would be refreshing. I think there's
I
so
think
many
that
stories.
idea, but in a different movie. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I like the fact that it's just it's kind of done. Like I'm glad that it's
yeah,
all over,
it
to be
wraps
honest.
up quite nicely.
Like
But,
I you know.
question: what the fuck happened with the Underminer? Never got caught.
He just disappeared like
Yeah, I
all
guess-
of
I
them.
really
There you
think
go. He'll be,
with
if they
the-
do a third one, he'll be back.
with the amount of money he took, he's probably like chilling in the Bahamas
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
totally new
If he's not
identity.
if he's not wrecking shop, they won't care.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Like he's taking the money.
Yeah.
Like to me, if you're robbing a bank, you're doing it for the money.
Mm.
So like, I don't think he was doing it for any other destructive purpose.
No.
So
He
if
just loved his puns.
he just loved his puns. Every good supervillain should have like a weird pun fetish or like something really odd about them.
Yeah.
And the Underminer was like a fucking mole who used puns, so that was pretty cool.
I just loved. What was the when he blows up the ground and he's just like under or something.
Prepare to get undermined or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. And I always chuckle at that on my 3 times that I've seen the movie.
You know that he fucking practiced that so
He-
hard.
he's
He's been prepping
He's
that
in
for
his,
years.
He's in his little like dungeon or his room, and he's like, prepare to get undermined. Haha. I really hope he's living his best life. I really like he pulled it off.
He did, yeah.
Just he can chill now.
He's a bad bloke though, really.
I actually have a theory. I think that he is the Underminer is the dude in the first movie who gets choked out by Bob. You know, the tiny little guy that gets fucking choked and thrown through like a series of walls. Who's his boss? His boss.
Oh yeah, when
Who,
he's
like,
like working in the office.
Who does? Yeah,
Yeah.
and he does how like
Yeah.
Bob like that thing, and he
Yes.
fucking grabs his neck and like throws him. And I think because he fucking hates Bob so much, I reckon he did like a mad amount of research on him, figured out that he was Mr. Incredible.
It's not hard, really.
No, it's really not hard. Like it's
It's like
everywhere.
Clark
And
Kent
he-
Superman.
Yeah, it's like Clark
Yeah.
Kent Superman, and like he was like, "How do you throw me through all these walls? He must have some sort of superpower." And he's like, "He's Mr. Incredible."
So he would have
And-
got his mind wiped.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, because he saw him do that.
You
He
saw him
probably
do
would've,
that.
yeah.
The whole
Ah,
building would have got
true.
his mind.
That's
mind.
actually a really good tie-up from the fuck. See, the idea
Yeah.
that mind wiping exists. Okay, but still, I
When is
still
it?
want
When
to
is
go.
it set as well?
It's-
That was something that I kept
It's
thinking
1960, but
about. Yeah, because I was
ish.
thinking it's like around that time because the technology isn't
Yeah.
that crazy.
It's
I mean,
1960-ish.
technology stuff really crazy. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the second movie, technology is everywhere within it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But it's like in that time period,
But
1960s.
yeah, that's what I
And the
thought. 'Cause people aren't like
TVs,
paranoid
like-
about stuff.
Real.
TV. The biggest fear in the 60s was Vietnam. The goddamn hippies.
Goddamn name. Goddamn hippies.
Peace and love, as Ringo would say.
And television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking over your lives. Like, it's already done it, but, you know.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
We're here now.
It's like watching it just slowly dissolve. You're like, this is gonna be a thing, isn't it?
But yeah, that's why the Underminer used screens.
Yeah.
Well, not the Underminer, screen
Yeah.
saver.
Screen Slaver, yeah. But then again, whoa, the Underminer used screens. Maybe the Underminer was actually just being controlled by Screenslaver. That's why he had that weird mask on, right? Whoa. But no, I actually like if the mind wiping is aside on this one, right? Say they just forget it, because Bob never mentions to his old mate that.
But because they report to the incident,
yeah,
they wouldn't.
They would
He's
know.
used his
But like,
powers.
okay, going off the assumption that they, for some reason, don't wipe his mind. They're like, he's zonked out of his mind. He doesn't remember a thing. Got amnesia, right? And it comes back to him or something.
Yeah.
He looks weirdly similar to the Underminer. Like, he's weirdly short, like the Underminer is. He has like a really nasally voice, and the Underminer, in like, especially in the last movie, has the exact same type of voice. Where it's like, it's the Underminer.
Yeah, but it's a different actor.
It's a it doesn't.
It's a
Doesn't really
different
matter.
voice actor.
Shut your mouth. Because the Underminer is like modified, right? Let me have my
Okay.
dream here. My dream
This
is
is such
that
an obscure theory.
my dream
One guy who got through.
my dream is that Bob's gonna have this mad ass fight with the Underminer, and he's gonna like nearly die, but he's gonna like somehow pull some mad thing off and like take off the hood, and it's gonna be like his boss and that he threw through the
Yes.
walls, and he's just gonna be like,
It's a grand reveal.
yeah, he's just gonna be like, this is the final boss in his entire life. It's his actual boss, and like it's like some cheeky little saying that like his greatest enemy within the most like important part of his life compared to his shitty ass job is actually his boss in his shitty ass job too.
That would be interesting.
Incredibles 2 is one of the best Pixar films to date.
I like it.
It's pretty up there.
Hot
Yeah.
take. Hot
Yeah.
take.
It's not like top 3 or anything.
The
for
fucking
me, but
but the scene in which she's tracking down the fake Screenslaver and she gets kicked.
I was
So
I
gets
was like
kicked in the
sus about. I actually thought that the CEO guy of the company.
Yeah, so
I was like it
Hmm.
seems like it's him, and then I thought that his sister was like in on it,
yeah.
because when they gave
So
him that
you know
the house. I was
So
like,
the internet cracked. So people on the internet who there's a Pixar YouTube channel that they always this Super Carlin Brothers. That's true. They always do Pixar movie. They're like into the Pixar shit.
Yeah.
Like they do theory videos and all that. Like they do more of the updates to the Pixar theory as well.
Yeah.
But I made the mistake of scrolling past and seeing a thumbnail
yeah.
that says Evelyn, whatever her name is Greenslaver,
Oh damn.
and they did it. That's
I mean,
the
it's
theory.
not that hard. Like, it's not a surprise when it
But then
happens.
they also I clicked it because I'm just like, oh, okay. And then Evelyn, whatever her freaking name is an anagram for evildoer.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait,
So-
what's a huh?
Her name,
Yeah.
the full name,
Yeah.
Evelyn Delvon, I think it is.
Evildoer.
Evildoer.
Mm,
That's
Or
so
something like
good.
that.
that's cool.
It's something along those lines, but
Subtlety.
it's just like I was like, oh, I hope this isn't right. I hope they, because they also had the fact that the brother was also Screenslaver, so it was two people as Screenslaver.
Yeah. Well, there's bits
But,
in it where it like
yeah.
hints towards one of the two of
Yeah,
them. So it doesn't come as a big surprise really. But that's fine. I mean, it can't really be anyone else unless it's just a random. And when it's like, they take off the mask of the dude, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" or whatever. You're like, "Yeah, that's not it. That's not him. That can't be." Especially because of how easily he gets taken down and everything.
Yeah.
Nah, he's just being hypnotized.
That fucking scene where she gets kicked into the room, like Elastigirl
Yeah.
gets kicked into the room,
Seizures.
and it's like I adored that. Like from an animation perspective, that is so
It did look really good.
detailed. Like to make it look hypnotic and like, wow, that really got to me. I was like, this is amazing, and like the way that they made it look like an actual scene where like you have zero visibility, but then you don't. Like they could have fucked that up so hard in so many points, but they got the lighting right. They got the visuals right. They got the everything right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising because of how well Pixar are with
Brad
animation.
Bird as well. Brad Bird knows how to
Brad
shoot
Bird
scenes.
knows how to do shit.
If
But
he
it's also
did
Pixar.
live action,
He does live action and it was...
was it alright?
Like, you know, Tomorrowland.
Oh, I
What was
didn't.
that?
I wasn't aware of that. But
He's the guy who went... He wanted... Okay, so he did Incredibles.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I want to do Tomorrowland.
yeah,
So he does Tomorrowland, and that bombs,
Yes.
unfortunately. Even though I sort of liked it. I was like, yeah, this is a cool movie. Because, I don't know, fuck
George
it.
Clooney.
Yeah, no, not really, but it was there, and I was like, oh, thinking about it. No. Ish.
To me, there are
Yeah.
some movies that when the trailer comes out, you look at it and you're like, this is too big to be good. Like Tomorrowland for me was like too big to be good. I was
The concept was interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but
I
I
was
have
just
seen
like,
the
it looks
trailer.
so grand. It looks like a fucking Disney palace, and to me, it threw me off. It's like with Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Ready Player One, it was like, look at all these things. There's like 100 different references, and the trailer was just too much, and I was like, not excited for it. I was like, this is too big to be good. The only time where I was excited was like Wreck-It Ralph, where
No.
the trailer came out for that. Not the second
Oh,
one,
okay.
but the original trailer came out for that, and it was like quite reserved, but it had like little flickers of like, oh wow, that's a reference. That's whoa, and for me it was like, oh, now I'm interested to come and see what it has to offer.
Yeah.
I think the trailer really matters, but there was so much grandeur in
Though-
both of them.
I liked Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But
It-
what they could have done with the
it got
trailers
really
is
bad
they
bomb
could have
reviews.
actually revealed the story instead of going, hey, look, guys, we got Batman, Deathstroke, Ruby, all this,
it's a bit-
Halo, and everything. Well, come see the movie because
It just feels like, oh, you
Yeah.
know these things.
yeah,
you, wanna
you
come see
know
it?
these
Yeah.
things. Come and see the movie.
There's
But
too much of
also,
that these days in general.
but
It's like, do you
why?
find nostalgia in this?
There's,
Well,
yeah, there
that's
is
the-
there is a lot of that, especially
that's-
because they're remaking so many movies.
That's the one thing I actually really enjoyed about Incredibles 2 is that they kick off where they left off, and it's not like a bunch of hidden little Easter eggs. It's not in your face.
No,
it's
there's
just,
like tiny little bits where occasionally you'll see something, but it's very minor.
but it's all like
whenever you see
related to
something.
the story
Yeah,
because they
exactly.
kick off the way they left off. So it's all in such a classy way. You're immediately reminded of it because it starts off the way it finished. So you're like, oh my god.
I'm back.
Oh my god, we're back, we're back! And like, you're already immediately into it in a classy way. It's not a slap in the face, it's not like, remember this, remember
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
Star Wars is not doing that well.
Yeah,
You know how many-
some more than others.
You know how many times I've seen 3D chess? Like, remember 3D chess? Remember that from the originals? And,
Yeah,
oh,
I think
wow.
Rogue One and Solo are probably, especially Rogue One, is probably the biggest culprit of that.
I think Solo.
Solo's close.
nah.
I think Solo is worse. 'cause
So
the
Solo
entire
does things that
plot of
aren't
Solo is
necessarily
angry.
like. It's not necessarily fan service as much as it's just unnecessary stuff. I think, like the name, how he got his name. Like I don't think that's fan service. I just think that's dumb.
hand single.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But whereas Rogue One is like, oh, here's something you remember. You know, like the worst one is when they're on they're on Jeddah and they run into the people from the bar in Tatooine, and I'm like, this is dumb.
yeah. I mean,
No, I don't like that at all.
I liked it.
It's just, it just stops the movie, and you're
No,
like,
it doesn't really, but you know.
I feel it does.
you know what? It has a. It's not needed, but it has a
No.
place. You know, because
I don't think so.
say in this vast galaxy, they
Mm.
hit that one spot that they are, and because they go from bar to bar to bar, and eventually at
Yeah.
some point they get their fucking one of them gets their arm chopped off. You know,
Mhm.
it's not classy, but it has a purpose to it. I feel like Solo did a bunch of things that had no purpose to it. It was like,
Yeah.
remember this
What's
one.
the purpose of that though? What's the purpose of
Yeah.
those two people bumping into?
So
the main
Well, they've
characters?
wanted in 14 seconds.
Yeah, but it's just fan
seconds.
service. If you don't know, you know, A New Hope,
Yeah.
and you see that happen, you're like, what? It's just they've just bumped into some guys. If you
Yeah.
like, if it's in a
yeah,
movie,
I
if
get
it's like,
that.
oh, it has to
Yeah.
reference something else, and you have to understand it from there, then that's not good. It doesn't stand on.
But
its
what
own.
the Star Wars canon is doing, and I like Star Wars canon. I don't care
We're
about
talking new
people's
canon. We're
opinion.
talking old canon.
It's
we're talking new
it's
canon.
obvious. It's canon, not
Yeah.
legends.
current canon.
It's
yeah.
not
Bye-bye,
legends. It's
Legends.
canon.
Right.
But
Bye bye, OP Luke.
Fucking hell. That's for the best.
He's
Yeah.
getting, well,
Oh
can't
god.
say getting. He's
dead.
He got pretty OP.
He got pretty powerful, but not like EU powerful, where he's just like fucking ridiculous. Practically do anything.
But pretty much what they're doing is, with the movies, they're going, okay, well, take that out, we'll put this into the books, and then because people will go read the books, they'll understand this thing, and this
Yeah.
thing. Like, the third lesson for Rey in The Last Jedi
Yeah, it's in a
Was-
deleted scene.
is in a deleted
Yeah.
scene, and it's in the book.
Mm.
You could have put that into the movie. It would have been. You could have cut
Yeah.
out a lot of like fucking shit.
Yes.
Like there is some shit in Last
Yeah.
Jedi. I'm not a Last Jedi head. I love Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie, but it's enjoyable,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
No, I agree. I think
But,
it has the best moments of the new canon.
Yeah,
But it also has the worst. Or some of the worst. Not necessarily the worst, but like probably inside of 7, 8 and Rogue One, I think it has the worst moments. Or bigger moments. Not just moments, but like collective parts, like sequences and stuff. But it also has the best stuff, so it's like
Yeah.
it's an imperfect movie, but it still is good, I think.
Oh my god.
But
Wait,
I understand
give me a
like,
second. I'll be back. You keep going.
like I get criticism of it because people don't like what they did with Luke and whatever.
I think.
Even though I like that. I like that they took his character in an interesting direction. But also, there is a part of me that's like, I kind of would have liked to see him just chop wood. But that's sort of just me wanting to see, like, one of my heroes do that.
I want
I
to see.
think it serves a point
I want
for
to see Luke actually become Mark Hamill.
me. Yes.
Like,
That'd be great.
like just assume his own self personality into the character,
Yeah.
and just eventually just be like, the fuck out. You know, he put a little bit of himself into that.
Oh, yeah.
Into that like last performance of Luke, because I really doubt that. I really doubt anyone else could have done that weird milking scene.
Only Mark Hamill could do
Only
that.
Mark Hamill could. He made it look really weird, but he owned
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the remake of The Last Jedi?
I have heard of that.
Have you?
It's nonsense.
Enlighten me.
Okay, so a bunch of little grown boys in their basements, likely,
Man-childs, yeah.
who probably got themselves too much high on the legends and upset about the movies,
Snoke is no one, he's dead. Rey's no
Yes.
one.
have
one
decided
knows
that they're
one.
gonna remake The Last Jedi because, why not?
How are they gonna? Is it gonna? Be
I'm getting to it.
oh no! Shitty bootleg TM.
Okay, so this was the 21st of the June.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
June.
it's true, yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
That is this month.
Let me get a voice.
I'm ready for this.
In a world.
Our team of producers is offering to cover the budget for a remake of The Last Jedi in order to save Star Wars.
But it's not
Save.
canon anyway, so it's like, what's the point?
Save Star Wars.
Share this and
Star
spread
Wars
the
spread
word to Bob Iger and Disney. You want this. This isn't a joke. We're ready to have a conversation. And then it goes on.
That's hilarious.
We are consulting
I didn't know.
with the Star Wars fans directly throughout the writing of the remake of The Last Jedi, as the plan is to remake a version of The Last Jedi that is as close as universally acceptable as possible. You'll never be pleased, everyone, but at least it won't be blasphemy.
Blasphemy. You know,
Oh my god.
there's a lot of things you should do in this world. There's a lot of things you should experience. That's not one of them. That is definitely not one of them. It's like,
But yeah.
how are you going to be so salty with something that, like, you're not going to change anything by remaking it? Disney's
Yeah.
not going to be like, wow, you guys did it better. Hats off to
Yeah.
you.
Well,
And also,
It's-
Disney doesn't, like, they don't really care. They wouldn't care that much because it made a shit
Yeah.
ton of money.
Yeah.
but it continues.
Mm.
They continue. In fact, we want the writing team to be as a diverse group of people that both love and hated The Last Jedi. So we will have an inbox for story treatments and submissions and actually hire people on to write to the writing team from what we receive. So this is your chance to write a Star Wars film. Iron sharpens iron. And the best writing comes from a group of people who have differing opinions but can constructively work together for the best story possible. Not just one writer sitting in a room thinking of whatever pops into their head is the best idea.
This is so wrong. Like, this is so, like, just false.
They're really selling me on that because I definitely want to listen to something that I've read on like a Google Drive by 14 people.
The thing is as well, like, it's not like the
Wattpad.
writing process, even though Rian Johnson is the only writer, technically. Like, it's a collaborative process.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's not like he writes
It's
the
not
whole
like
thing.
even
And no one has
making
input.
films is a fucking chore.
Yeah.
Oh, when you see
It's
the
heavy work.
documentary for it,
Yeah,
like, there's so much that goes into it. It's just incredible.
yeah.
Especially for, like, a big movie like that.
Yeah, a big movie like that, but even a short film, like the one that I'm doing for grad film is fucking gonna be shit. But regardless,
It's a
was-
it's hard work.
it's
Yeah.
hard work and dedication, and people are like, I'm not the sole. I'm credited as the sole writer, but I'm not. Everyone's fucking putting their shit in. That's
Yeah.
the same thing with Rian Johnson.
Yeah, and that's
and
how, like,
stuff.
the creative process just works.
That's how it works because you know.
You get
input from
multiple
everyone.
people. That's like with writing. That's like with music. That's like with anything.
Yeah.
You can write it, but then you get other people. You're like, hey, is this right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Like, that's with anything. It's not written by one person. But that being said, having one person that's the creative direction towards it, and having that one person be open to make changes on both ends is a really good idea. Having
Yeah.
multiple people with differing opinions is just gonna make it that like different people.
It's
want
gonna
different
be
things.
like
It's gonna be
if-
really hard.
if it's gonna be what they say it's what Star Wars is right now, written by a committee. If you have 14 people writing a script,
Yeah.
it's gonna be chaos.
Like one person's gonna want it to be vastly different, and
Yeah.
the other person's gonna want it to be exactly like the old stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that's right.
I don't think they also understand filmmaking. But
No, clearly not.
we
there's one more paragraph, and then there's a bunch of reactions. The people in power think the fans who dislike The Last Jedi are irreverent minority of basement dwellers who are just keyboard cowboys that will never actually affect real change. If you don't want them to win, then spread the word. #remake The Last Jedi and let your voice be heard. And then this obviously got the attention of people.
Yeah, I've seen it spread
Seth
quite
Rogen.
a bit. Seth Rogen, what did he say?
Oh god.
Did Mark Hamill say something about it?
Yeah, he posted on his Instagram
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
about it, and not in like a yeah, whatever. It was like the Melania Trump's stupid jacket.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I
Oh
remember
yeah, that's
that.
right.
He took a screenshot of that and then put the jacket meme down below
Yeah.
and just posted it on Instagram.
Oh my god! But actually, speaking of that, there's a theory going around, and the theory is that Melania Trump is actually just making fun of Donald Trump subliminally through the way she dresses. So, I remember at one point she wore this like beautiful white pristine dress that looks just like Hillary's. Not only is wearing something that exactly like Hillary.
Could that be mocking Hillary though?
A bit. Yeah, see, you'd think that,
Yeah.
but it's what she wore with Bill when the sexual harassment allegations were going around.
Oh, when he was having an affair? Do you mean?
Bill, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And she wore it when, like, Donald Trump was going through his own sexual
Well.
allegations, right? So it seems
Yeah.
to be a kick in the face. She also wore something, and forgive me, I'm gonna botch it, but it was like it was either a scarf or it was some sort of dress, and it's called like I think there was a bow attached, and I think it's called like a pussy bow or something like that. It has that name attached to it, and she wore it
Yeah.
for like the first time coming into the public after Donald Trump was in hot water about the grab him by the pussy meme. And people were like, wait a minute, does she know what that's called? Because that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's
true. Yeah.
huh. And now she went to a detention center and wore a jacket that says like, no fuck, was it no fucks given? Or like, I don't give a single fuck.
Don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck on like a jacket.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, time and place, Melania.
Yeah, that's bad.
They got $150 million for this, apparently.
That's a lie.
That's
Where's the
not
proof?
true. We passed 100. No, you haven't. That's
Apparently.
That is
untrue.
But it's pledge money, so they have to meet with Disney, and then they'll get this money. I just want them to meet with Disney.
So wait, is
how are they
Disney going to
saying-
give them that money?
No. People investing. Even though they had to have a script, a director attached, a cast, the normal things
Yeah,
that
because you would have to.
you need to have in place to actually get financing. No,
Yeah, you'd have to have the proper cast from set 8, really,
yeah, but
or at least the main players, because otherwise it just goes from 7 to 8, and like someone else is playing Ray or something. It doesn't work.
Someone.
But
For new
$150
characters, you
million.
could change actors if you wanted to, I guess.
So they want to keep Rose. Apparently,
Why?
they want to give her more of a better role than she had.
I mean,
Get rid of her.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just cut her out of the movie.
I don't think she added anything to the plot.
yeah.
No,
She
it's
shouldn't
interesting
even
when
say-
Ryan Johnson talks about her, but I don't like. He talks about how she's supposed to be like the angel, and DJ, the hacker guy, is supposed to be like the devil, in the sense that Finn is like, I don't know which decision to do. Like, do I be good like she is, or do I kind of be bad like he is? But I don't really get
I
that
don't
so much.
see that.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
see,
feel that in the movie.
I just see like random off to the side character,
Yeah.
random off to the side girl character,
Mm.
random off to the side character bad boy who's not Han Solo.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I just
not.
want the Han Solo.
That,
He's dead.
really? I don't.
No, I was glad he died, because it was the right
He
time.
didn't want to play Han Solo anymore.
Oh no, he hasn't wanted to play him for fucking like 30 years.
He doesn't want to play anyone.
They would've given
He
him
wants to
stupid
go
money.
home. He nearly died in a plane crash. He's like, I just want to fucking go home. Stop flying me out here.
Stop forcing me to do these movies.
I'm old. I'm not
and he's
Indiana
doing
Jones.
well. He's doing Indy 5.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. He
He's
thought
like,
he thought he was too old to do the bloody 4th one.
he was.
He was, yes. He certainly was. Well, I just like
He's not.
I'm kind of on the fence whether they should do the idea of passing the torch and give it to a Chris Pratt kind of guy, or
Give
whether
it
they
to-
should just do something
Go
different.
to Shia LaBeouf.
Fuck off. They tried. Didn't work. Didn't work.
Imagine Shia LaBeouf as the new Indy though.
Let's remake Indiana Jones if that happens.
I would rather that $150 million pledge go into finding someone who's. I reckon.
Well, at least with 5,
We'll
like
make their own movie.
yeah.
What if
You have $150 million,
you make an
and
original
you
idea?
make your own fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a brilliant
What
idea.
about Alda
Oh, Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich
Yeah,
as,
get him to play. He can just play every Harrison Ford
as
character.
Indy, right? Yeah, because it's
No
almost
thanks.
like that face you come to know and love can just
It's
be
just
passed
weird
down.
though, because then you're like,
Because then
he's
you're
just
like,
a Harrison
he's
Ford imitator.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, it kind of
There's no
sucks
one
for
that
him
can
though.
be. You know, who cares? He'll be.
Well, I don't know.
he'll
if
be
he'd wanna do
famous
that.
and sexy and loved by all. I don't think
Well,
he's
not-
complaining.
I don't think so.
People aren't going to be like, you're just a Harrison Ford copy.
Yeah, but nah.
He'll be like, I'm a Harrison Ford copy that's making millions. So
Yeah, no, but if people don't like him, it's not good for him.
people do like him though.
Yeah,
He's-
people kind of like him, but no one's like, oh, he's a great, he's an amazing actor or anything.
I
He's
think it would
fine.
be a cool idea to have Indy and Han as the same actor because they're seen as
Yeah.
the same entity sometimes. Like you
Oh
see
yeah, they're the same
elements-
character. But one's just in space. and
Yeah, one's in
on
space
Earth.
and one's on Earth because
One's
that's
got a
very
whip.
much
That's the
Harrison.
difference.
One's
He's
got,
got a
whip.
nice hat.
Who?
Yeah.
Indiana
But,
Jones
yeah,
is cooler than
With
Han
with
Solo.
with Indy 5 though, there's no George Lucas, which is a big plus.
No aliens. No.
Well, I think that's a plus.
Did you like Crystal Skull?
No, I didn't like Crystal Skull.
feel
but
like a
he
lot of-
made the original. Like
Yeah,
he
no, but
wrote
George
the
Lucas
others.
since like 77 is just rubbish. I mean, he's just done nothing.
Well, yeah,
Hey.
obviously, but
Well, yeah.
He could, you know.
What is Georgie up to nowadays?
Well, he's doing his museum.
Yeah, the museum, that's happening, yeah. But I don't want him on, like, collaborating with Steven Spielberg again because of what happened on the fourth one, where, like, his influence made it into that movie just because Spielberg was like, all right, let's do it. You're my best mate and whatever. And you're like, what are you doing? Because when you see, like, the behind the scenes of that, it's like, what are you... Stop listening to George. He's making dumb ideas. He wanted to do that.
It was stupid that they did do aliens.
That was
Indiana
that was
Jones.
George.
But
you said that.
they could still do fucking the old adventure movies
Yeah, well, that's
of
what
the
it's
40s.
supposed to be.
Yeah, and I'm sure George could at least put some input in.
You could, like, be executive producer or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't want him, like, co-writing it. No, I don't, because I don't think he's a good writer.
Okay,
honestly.
you know that scene in Indie Kingdom of the Crystal Skull where there's, like, that guy and he's seen the skull and he's not talking. He's, like, mumbling, his hands are shaking.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like,
they
it's
give him,
kind of old.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Like, they give him the pen and paper and he starts writing down, like, a map, I believe. And he's
Yeah.
like, it's a map. They should do that with George. They should just, like, get him in a room, give him a pen, give him a paper. George, go and write some ideas. Oh, okay. People will be like, aliens? No, George. No aliens today. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to do that. But they'll find one little glimmer in there. They'll be like, there's the map.
But, like, they
There's
don't know
the
how to say no to him. People don't know how to
Then
say
just
no to
fucking-
Lucas.
Well, they said no to his idea for...
Oh, for the sequel trilogy, yeah. But that's because I feel like Disney is
They
a bigger
bombed.
entity. Like, they... You know what I mean? Than,
Disney
like,
is
just
God.
Spielberg.
Disney's,
Well,
Disney's
yeah, and they wanted
God
to do their
to
own
them.
thing. It is kind of funny, though, when you watch, like, the handover of Lucasfilm, and George is all, you know, and he says, like, I'm giving you these.
What?
Hello? If I give myself, like, 0.1,
No.
I imagine I've grown 0.1 since I last checked.
When was that?
Like, 2 months ago.
Probably.
So,
Probably not 5.
like, on the safe side, I'm going to assume I'm 5'7" on the low end, right?
We need to take measure right now.
You know what? Let's do it another day,
Yeah,
James.
another day.
On second thought.
I want to see how tall I am. I don't know how tall I am.
Yeah, 7 foot. He's fucking giant.
I'm a monster of a man.
You Frankenstein.
Yeah.
How dare you be so tall and make me look short in comparison?
Well, you are short in general.
I mean, you're tall in general. So
That's true. I'm well aware.
we should merge and become
Yeah.
average size.
Yeah, our children would be great.
That's the name of this episode, average size.
Average size. Speaking
Somewhere
of
in the middle
average
between
size,
you and
the
me.
average size penis of a male is
Jesus
5'2" inches. Feel free to measure.
Really,
yourself.
5'2"?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
Have you done your research?
It was like when I
Sounds
was.
like you have.
It was like when I was 12, and I was
Mm.
like, "Is my member big enough?" And I was like, looking it up on Google,
okay, yeah, wasn't
sweat
sure what was
real
happening
hard. No, I was just looking it up on Google, like sweating really hard. I was
Mm.
like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then every boy goes through that moment where they're just like,
I mean, I haven't looked up what the average is.
I feel like I did when I was younger, and I think that's
Mm.
what I can recall it being.
Do you
So,
want to do it right now?
pardon?
So, do you want to look it up?
Like, okay.
Yeah,
well,
let's do it.
average,
We gotta fact check this.
average male penis. It's different
Yeah.
for every country, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, if you do globally, it'll be an average.
There will be
All
a
the
cut.
countries.
If you
Wait, can we all take a guess?
Yeah. I'm gonna say 5'2".
I'm gonna say 6'1".
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know.
You know.
I'm out of this.
5'9" or 6'1".
Okay. We should go off erect.
Oh,
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because like some people are growers and not
Yeah.
showers. 5.16 inches.
That's the average.
So let's look up what 5.16 inches
I
is.
expected it to be a lot higher.
So, I guess in inches.
Yeah, inches to centimeters.
No wait, 5.16 inches. So 5.16 is like 5'2", right? Rounding it
Yeah, I
up.
guess you rounded up, yeah.
So 5'2" inches in centimeters. That's 13. So that's like less than half of a ruler. So
No,
like,
it's not that impressive.
that's not that impressive.
No.
To all the gentlemen out there that are rocking under 5'2", I'm very sorry.
We apologize for bringing this to your attention.
But that's okay. It's how you use it,
It's what's inside that counts.
or just how you use your penis.
That too.
As
That's
well.
also important.
Or
Yes.
just how you don't use your penis.
Mm.
How you use your other.
Tools.
Expenditures.
Your all your other devices at your disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5'2", I was correct.
Yeah.
This is why I actually checked it yesterday, because I have a micro penis and I had to check up on myself. I was like, damn it. Actually, I went to a sex shop
Jesus Christ.
at one point. Well, I was with my partner, and we went to a sex shop, and there's these tiny, tiny, tiny little condoms, and we're talking like the smaller than a 5-cent piece, like probably
Okay.
half,
So like a centimeter.
like half of a 5-cent piece.
So
I guess.
like half a centimeter
around, yeah.
or something like that.
And
Like
they were
something
called
like
like tiny pecker condoms, right?
that.
And I just looked at it and I was like,
I gotta buy some of these.
no, I wasn't like I gotta buy some of these. I was in awe. I was like, do people need this?
Yeah, the
There
fact
is
that
some-
that exists is
The fact that
Kinda
there is some
shocking.
sort of supply and demand
yeah,
for these tiny
a half 5-cent piece.
pecker condoms, and I was like,
Wow.
oh my god. I left that adult store smiling so hard. I
Oh
was
yeah,
just like, I was just
you
like,
must have felt pretty big after seeing
I'm
that.
like, I'm the man after today.
That's such a good confidence booster.
So if ever you're feeling low, just remember someone's got to go to a sex shop to specifically buy like ridiculously tiny
That
condoms for their like ridiculously tiny little pecker. They're
That
little,
would suck.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Are there any more topics we'd like to discuss today?
We should probably put one more so it's not ending on tiny packers.
So- yeah,
Lovely.
what's the complete opposite of
Well,
that whole subject?
in terms of games, Crash Bandicoot and Insane Trilogy is coming out on everywhere else.
On PC as well. Oh fuck yes. Crash
29th.
Bandicoot was a shit when I was a kid.
29th of June.
Keen.
So,
Get rid. I'm
Couple
probably not going
days.
to pay for that full price though, because I do not have like $60 to spare. No thanks. But eventually.
I love Crash, but Crash games are just so repetitive to me.
yeah.
I just can't the only times like that I remember playing Crash Bandicoot was like at a fucking arcade in like a casino or something like that. Like they'd always have it, you know, or like on my PS2,
Yeah.
and you'd get bored of it after a while. You'd be like, oh, I'm just running and hitting, and you'd stop and you'd start it again. And like when they came out with the new game, it was like, oh, this is nice. I can pick the old style and the new style. But then I was like, fuck, I'm still just running and like killing
It's the same
things.
thing.
And to me, it's like a new Crash game is gonna be great, but it's just
I want them to.
there's not much complexity towards a Crash game.
No,
That's what
it's
made
a
it so
simple
good.
like yeah. I want them to like remake Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
That's so good.
They already did that pretty much. They just made a new game.
It's not the same. Just remake Ratchet and Clank 2, 3, and Gladiator, and then I'll be happy. It's the best.
I think I would really like to see Grab by the Ghoulies, a
So-
game by Rare. So Rare created Banjo Kazooie
Oh, yeah.
and like I think The Last of Us, or like they split off and
Oh yeah, there's another one of those coming out. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
there's
Last
that,
of Us.
that looks
Last of
beautiful.
Us 2.
Yeah.
That looks like such a, like the fluidity of their movement looks so realistic that it
Well,
doesn't
it's all
live action.
motion capture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you look at it and you're like, this isn't real. This is just cinematic. But if like I reckon it's gonna get to the game and it's actually gonna be like how the players really move. Like I feel like it is gonna
Yeah.
be very fluid, and
maybe not the cutscene, but
No.
but the
cutscene,
actual
like,
gameplay.
The gameplay that they showed there, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
so fluid in the way they move. It's not jittery or juddy at all. It's so like perfect, and you can do like multiple things. You can go left or right, and if you go left, it looks beautiful. If you go right, it looks beautiful. You know, like it just looks so fluid. It looks like, you know how cutscenes, how they just look so pristine and smooth in the way it moves.
Yeah.
It looks like that all the fucking time.
Also the God, we were talking about this a little bit on the last podcast with Robbo, but you guys weren't here.
Yeah.
But talking about God of War and
yeah.
how God of War, there's only like one loading screen, and then every bit of the game is you don't cut.
Yeah.
Like there's no cuts in the game at all. Like
It's just fluid.
It's fluid, and there's like from the first thing,
layers.
it's like cuts, like it's you cutting down a tree, and then you go straight into the game, and the camera follows whatever his fucking name is. That if Robbo was here, Kratos,
Yeah.
and into the game.
And his son.
Yeah.
And his
Boy.
little boy.
That just
And
kind of
his
came
little
out of
boy.
nowhere, God of
Yeah.
War. So there's
And
nothing
it was,
happening about it.
it was such a good game. I don't know if you've seen it or...
I've heard that it's great, but that's about it.
Wow. That's some mint storytelling.
What we were talking about was mythology after that on the last podcast. We just went into mythology because we wanted to.
I think coolest mythological creature is the it's a lion, but like with Pegasus
The
wings.
one with from the lion, though.
It's Greece.
That's a Greek one, yeah.
Yeah.
But least cool mythological creature is the fawn from Narnia. You know, the one that like has a chat with the little girl, the one who,
I don't remember.
the one with the who's like half goat,
Oh, yeah.
Sentinel.
Yeah, they're never.
Centaur.
They're almost never cool.
not centaur,
Not no, you know.
but like the
yeah.
fawn.
but the half goat.
Yeah,
Half human people, yeah.
Of all the shitty things to be, a half goat.
Yeah, I know,
They're
right? That's
Greek.
bad luck.
Half farmhouse.
They're Greek, not centaur, but
Baba bitch.
they're a different set.
Like Sentinel or something? I can't remember.
Sentient.
Fucking I can
Sentinel.
It's alive!
Imagine that you exist and then you're like, oh shit, I'm half goat. Oh damn it.
That would be the worst thing though. You're like a mythological creature, but you're not like, you're not coming from Percy Jackson land. You're coming from
Yeah.
like a half a goat, half
And
human.
there's very few times where like in movies they're like cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're badass. They're usually just kind of like
I'd like to see like
nice
a half
people
gazelle,
and
half
stuff.
human, right?
Mm.
And they're just like ridiculously fast, and they can just like
Yeah.
fucking jip around and just do whatever they'd like.
It's like the god of that's Greek is called Pan. It's basically he's half goat, half man.
Yeah, but
But
like,
it's that's I don't know the creature's actual name. Oh, centaurs. No, is that just horses? Centaurs? Give me a second. Oh, beasts. Yeah, you can fucking pronounce it probably.
oh. Which
wait,
one?
give me a look.
Silence or something? Silliness?
Sat.
Wait, is it the
Sat.
oh satyr?
Satyr.
Satyr.
Yeah, satyr. They're goats. They're half. They're basically what he was, the person in who James whatever guy who
James McAvoy? That was the first James that came to mind.
is he the one who
Jameson Jr.?
who's bald boy in X-Men First Class?
yeah.
Yeah, he
Wait, who's who?
bald
Wait.
boy. Bald. Who
Okay.
becomes bald?
Oh, you mean Professor X?
Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
James McAvoy, yeah.
Yeah, he was in that. He was in Narnia.
Logan.
Yeah, he's toast.
Professor X. Wow, so was Charles Xavier.
Is he though? Is he?
He died.
He dies in Logan.
He doesn't like.
Oh, he does too.
And then
Oh yeah, that's right, he does. He gets freaking.
That's spoilers for a fucking year-old movie, but
he's
whoa. Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time in Sixth Sense, and also
He shows up in that other movie.
they
It's all
fuck in the
connected.
Titanic. That's not a spoiler. I just wanted to let you know they fuck in the Titanic. They fuck in a car, in a boat, in the Titanic. Gets really steamy in there.
The only way I know that is through Rick and Morty. Because there's a bit in Rick and Morty
there
where
is a little-
because I haven't seen Titanic because I don't really want to.
I would
It's a long thing.
I would watch it.
I can't be bothered.
Jesus
I have
Christ.
a man crush on Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a beautiful human and just the way he holds himself up in every movie is good.
Mm.
He's not done a
He's
single
good in
bad
that
movie.
one where he
Tell
takes on
me,
a bear. I love that. He's
The
great.
Revenant.
Yeah.
that movie is so slow.
Yeah, but
it.
it's filmed so nice.
It's filmed so
It's
nice
got
that it can
like
take its
Blade
time.
Runner syndrome in that sense.
It does. It's
Which I
very
don't
much
mind, 'cause-
like the opening scene where there's like so much action. You're like,
Mm.
yes, and then just
Yeah.
Oh, that
slows
long
down.
shot, that
Yeah,
whole
that long
take,
shot.
it's amazing.
That was art.
So good.
That was
Yeah,
art when it first
that's
came
so
out. Like,
amazing.
I could watch that so many times and just never get bored of it. But there are so many times where it's just like, it really wants to encapsulate how slow moving the forest is
Mm.
by like making it slow moving for you, and
Yeah.
you're just like,
Pick it up.
okay, buddy. This is the 14th time I've seen the trees, and it took them so much time to get like the proper lighting as well that like
Yeah, would've.
they don't care how much they show it off.
Mm.
And people who actually care enough to know, how hard it is to make a film, like, love it. It's
Mm.
props to them, right? But for like the average moviegoer, you're just sitting there, you're like, pick up the pace. You're like, this is the 16th tree I've seen.
Yeah.
Where's the story? And it's just a simple story about getting back at someone.
Yeah, it's just a little
Yeah.
revenge story, really.
But
That's all it is.
it goes a long way because they span it out with
Mm.
such beautiful shots and just
Yeah.
the idea that he's fucking dying the entire time.
Mm.
Gets mauled by a bear and then he's like shot and fucking he's always dying.
Mm.
He's dying throughout
Eats
the
a
entire
fish.
movie. Eats a raw
Little
fish
Yeah.
in a
Leonardo DiCaprio.
real life take.
Poor guy. Fucking hell.
Wolf of Wall Street is Leo's
That's
best.
good as well.
best
Yeah, he's
work.
very good in that. He's good in
I-
everything, really.
Yeah,
Everything I've seen him anyway.
he's one of the best actors of our
Yeah,
generation,
he's
in my
very
opinion.
good.
He's also just a sweetheart and a cutie as well.
Mm.
Just my opinion.
Well, you
But
can have that.
I think I still like. I think Inception is probably one of his weakest movies.
Yeah,
as in a
Inception's like-
performance-wise,
Yeah,
or
performance wise.
Even Inception as a movie in general is kind of overhyped.
I think it brought a lot of new shit to the table.
still good.
Still.
It
I
did
think
like
Nolan
it
is-
did Doctor Strange.
like,
before
apart
Doctor
from-
Strange, did Doctor Strange.
True.
Apart from the Dark Knight and maybe Batman Begins, Nolan is a hack.
Really? Do you think he's a hack?
I don't like him.
I,
Like,
I
about,
disagree.
He's
I,
pretty bland.
I don't think
What
he's made a real
about,
step.
It's
Like early Nolan is alright,
Yeah.
but most of that's just Jonathan Nolan writing, and people think, oh, Chris Nolan because he's he's directing the actors and stuff. Yes, that's Chris Nolan wrote this,
Mm.
but it's actually Jonathan Nolan who's writing it because Jonathan Nolan does Westworld,
Yeah.
which is a fucking amazing show.
Mm.
And I don't need to go into Westworld, but he's probably the better writer of the two
Yeah.
Nolans, and he never gets any credit for it either.
I agree. He doesn't get a lot of credit.
But with
Yeah,
like, I
Westworld, at
still
least
think-
he's been able to.
I don't really think Nolan's taken. I think he's one of the best people working.
Mm.
Like whenever his name shows up on something, you're like,
I didn't see Dunkirk.
it's very good.
I didn't want to see it.
Really? I thought you would have loved Nolan.
I still haven't seen
Surprised.
Dunkirk yet,
It's one of those ones that's better seen at the movies, but
because it's
Still.
like
Yeah.
loud.
well, and it's not like a typical war movie either, which kind of has a big story around it. Like there is a story.
I just heard bad things.
Saving
I
Private
don't.
Ryan.
There's no thing where it's like, oh, we want to go home to our family. Like there's not really characters in the
Yeah.
movie. That's the main
Yeah.
thing people have brought up. But there's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be like what it's like to be in that scenario, and it's just intense for 2 hours.
Everyone's expendable. Everyone's just dying left and right.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. There's no time for the characters to sit down and be like, "My name's John, and I have a lovely wife, and I, here's a letter from my
John
daughter."
just died.
It's like, yeah, no, that's not the reality of war,
Yeah.
and that's what I think Nolan did really well.
Yeah, fast moving.
Yeah, it's fast moving, and it just doesn't.
Is Harry Styles a big part of the plot?
He is in it a lot, actually. And when I saw him at first, I think I knew he was in there. I can't remember. But I was like, I hope this doesn't derail the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's really good so far. And it doesn't, because really, he barely speaks. And a lot of the characters barely speak. Because a lot of the time, they're in war, so they're running and shit, and there's no time to... And they're just distraught. They're like, and they're purposely young.
Yeah.
You can see the...
Act distraught, okay.
Yeah, but that's... Like, Harry Styles, he's great in it, honestly.
Nice.
So is everyone else. They just do what...
Well, Harry Styles can be like, you know what, I was a good actor in a good movie. That's more than what, like...
Also, the score is fantastic. Especially, which is not surprising, because I think Hans Zimmer is really good.
Yeah. One of the best.
But the way it... Especially when you hear the planes, which is more like... There's probably more sound design. But it's so terrifying when you hear the sound of the plane and it's slowly getting closer. Because you know that sound and you know, like, that's a warplane. I know, it just connects to you.
Is it like the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just... You can, like, faintly hear it, and then it gets incredibly loud, and then it bombs all these areas and shit. But it's never, like, over the top. And it's... Another thing Nolan does so well is it all feels real.
Yeah.
Which is, like, probably one of his best qualities. He does shit practically.
At least my editing teacher saw that The Last Shadow remake and he retweeted it. Because that's the sad thing about him not coming. He's leaving uni and not coming back because the pay is shit.
Oh, yeah.
But we just talked shit about movies. He vaped and I was like, I'll just sit out there and fucking...
I think vaping...
That's who convinced me that Nolan was shit. Because he knows filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, he's done it, so he's editing.
I just, like...
So long, but yeah.
I'm a very positive person, and to me, any form of effort that's been put in a direction, I feel like, unless it's been done in such a horrible way, it should never be like critiqued to that much of an extent. Like, he's put a lot of work into these films.
Yeah,
I think they're not falling upon deaf ears. I think he's getting quite famous off it. I think he's doing a good job, and I think people are receiving it well. So I don't think there's anything to accredit him to being a bad.
Yeah, well, there's always hype. As soon as his name is attached to something, there's always hype.
But why is there hype?
Because he hasn't done a wrong foot, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And people are still like,
he's
on the hype.
He has really unique shots. It's not just shot, reverse shot. He has like incredible...
Oh yeah, the cinematography is great, but that comes onto the cinematographer as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the director is mainly going, okay, actors do this. But he's also, like, most, like, Quentin Tarantino's and all that.
Yeah.
Chris Nolan's, all those sort of directors. Like, the big name directors, they probably have a hand in, like, storyboarding and everything like that.
And
so
also,
they have an idea of what they want in terms of shots.
Yeah. And it's one of the best directors and just, like, voices of media in general. Like, every interview he's been on, he's held himself up to such a respectful regard. Yeah. And, like, even when there's, like, videos of him popping off at paparazzi, he's just so, like, himself about it. I think Quentin Tarantino is probably one of the best.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say one of the best directors.
Just voices in media in general. Like what he gives is like pure gold in terms of personality and movie wise. I really enjoyed his most recent work.
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I saw that at cinemas. I was so happy about that.
I was like. I watched it with my family. My family don't do slow movies. They love Transformers.
Oh, God.
They love fast movies. They love Fast and the Furious. And we sat down, we watched The Hateful Eight. And it was so slow. But they heard how good The Revenant was and they went and watched The Revenant. And they were like, it was such a slow movie, but we didn't mind it. And I was like, okay, well, let's watch The Hateful Eight. Quentin Tarantino is quite slow. And I was like getting them prepped. And I was like, now it's going to be bloody. Like, it's a Quentin Tarantino film. And they sat down and, like... Mum had to look away in a lot of scenes, but we, like, everyone loved it. Like, the whole, like, beer pouring scene and, like, the whole, like, just in the end when it all breaks down after all that build-up, Dad was like, that was so good. Like, you just had you on the edge of your seat and it just all breaks down and it's not self-gratification by instantly getting a piece of action. It's not two pieces of dialogue and then
Yeah,
jumping
he
straight into
builds
it.
he builds stuff up.
He makes you chase that reaction. He makes you want it. He's like got you on the edge of your seat. He'll hint it, and then you'll be like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And he'll keep you reeled in until right at the end. He'll let you go, and he'll fucking bait you back in again, and then do it. And he'll like mess you up. Like my favorite Quentin Tarantino scene, and one of my favorite scenes in filmmaking ever, is in Inglourious Bastards, where they're at the bar.
Oh yes, the bar is fucking
The bar
amazing.
scene where he
Yeah,
orders
yeah.
he orders a drink and he puts up the wrong hand and his bluff is called. And then we got gun on balls. And there's, one person shoots, the other person shoots, and everyone's shooting each other up in the bar. Everyone's fucking dead except for two people. Like, there's like 10 minutes of build up, and you get to know the characters in the scene. You get to know that kid. That man has a fucking kid on the way. You get to know, the life story of a few different random people. You get to know these characters and their objectives and like their super objectives within life and what they want to be. And it just gets broken down subtly over and over until it just devolves into a fucking shootout and everyone dies. Everyone you just spent like an egregious amount of time learning about just dies. And except for like two people, and then the other one dies too. So I love that scene because it's so unlike any other filmmaker, where you learn about someone and then they just fucking die like they're human, like they're human, and you have such a build up, but it's just like reeling you in, and then the payoff is so minimal compared to the build up, which is it's like, and I think that's why he has such a following, because it's such cinematography foreplay. It's like doing so much foreplay before you actually get into the sex.
It's
just teasing.
His writing.
Yeah,
He's like,
and his dialogue.
Yeah.
And everything. It's just teasing and teasing and teasing, and then you finally get to it.
And then just
like The Hateful Eight is the only movie that they don't have. He normally writes the music.
Yeah.
Like
does he write the music
soundtracks.
as well?
Soundtracks like
Kill.
and like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
He writes to the gets his record player and he goes and he writes in like a pool or something like that. But with Hateful Eight, he couldn't do that because he wanted to sort of get he's a great Western conductor, like scorer, composer. That's it.
Composer,
And they in Django Unchained, which is awesome, but that guy did some score, but he sort of went, I don't really want to come back and do another Quentin Tarantino movie. But then they convinced him, and the whole movie is pretty much scored with this, like, the undertone of a suspense Western.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah, it is pretty masterful how that's done. Like, so many, and I actually like, there was a movie that just recently came out that used silence really effectively as well.
The Quiet Place? Quiet Place?
Yeah. I think that movie uses silence to its advantage a lot, and it's a very contrasting difference to what we're seeing in
loud big explosions.
yeah.
It's
So
a
I
horror
like that.
movie that uses...
Creepy, but not
Yeah, it
horrific.
uses, just the build up as for it.
Which is good. It's like, I'm glad that horror movies are becoming self-aware of what they need to do to become successful. Like, once Get Out set a staple, it's been like, okay, let's set the bar.
They've gotten past like the kind of
cheesy.
Yeah.
I hate Cabin in the Woods.
I really didn't like that either. We did we watch that together?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
So many people
So many people
rave
love
about
that.
it.
I'm like, it's
I
no
found
good.
it so cheesy. It was like,
I didn't like it. No.
and everyone's like, oh, it's self-aware that it's cheesy, and that's why it's good. Because you
think
can enjoy
is,
it.
Yeah.
But like, if you want your fan base to be self-aware that it's cheesy, they could watch any movie and just be self-aware that it's cheesy, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like the
just
movie
because
actually
the movie
goes to the
has to
effort.
be on the nose about it, that it takes itself so seriously to be on the nose that it is in itself like a joke. Like, I don't find it a good film. I find it very cheesy and tacky, and I didn't have fun watching it. I get, like, I preferred, like, Annabelle.
I haven't seen that.
It's alright. It's like in the vein of The Conjuring, but
Yeah,
it's very
it's like a prequel, isn't it?
It's
very
it's
cheesy.
it's
very
in the
cheesy.
universe.
Yeah,
The
yeah, they've built a
Conjuring.
whole
Have you seen
universe
it?
around that.
No, I'm the only
I
one
saw.
who's seen it. It's a very
Wait, I saw
cheesy.
Conjuring with you as well. We watched that and Cabin in the Woods
Yeah,
the same day. Yeah.
yeah.
God.
One was much better than the other.
Yeah, The Conjuring was a lot better.
Yeah, it was-
but
it
even
was
then,
very
The
good.
Conjuring still had its tacky moments. But
Yeah.
actually, there's a Daniel Radcliffe film.
Is it the
It's so
first
hard.
one?
It's
The-
so hard to watch
The
it.
Black
I'm gonna have to go soon.
Woman or something like that.
Pretty much now. But
I don't know. Anyway,
That's good. But let's wrap things up.
we're wrapping this up. We're at an hour and 26 minutes.
oh my
Yeet.
god.
So thank you for watching
Thank you for listening.
listening to Dial
watching.
Left podcast.
Those
Let's
fucking
wrap it
ears.
off. So James, do you have a Twitter?
No.
Then
Who do you think I am?
I don't have a Twitter. I haven't. Follow me on fucking Instagram. No, I'm kidding.
okay, don't follow him on
Find me in
Instagram.
my house.
And
Bye.
goodbye.